there, Nick Weber here with another On Target. Today we're going to talk about insider threat. While this may be often looked at as a physical security or merely a cybersecurity component, the reality is this is something that crosses throughout the entire risk management for your organization. Frankly, even beyond just security in the traditional sense. One of the most common, I would say probably most organizations have this, is the unwilling insider threat, the unwitting insider threat. It's the person who talks too much about what they do at work, shares too much information. In some places, it may be the person who wears their corporate badge in a place they probably shouldn't out in public. A lot of different ways. They're people who are well-meaning, well-intentioned, probably some of your best workers because they're very proud of what they do. But it's just an understanding of what information is being put out there. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because it's one of those things that I think to a certain degree is just kind of a cost of doing business and something to be aware of, to start putting into security awareness programs and make sure people understand that while it's great to be proud of the work you do and it's phenomenal, it's important, there's also a time and a place and a limit to how much of that should be shared. But what I do want to get into is more the nefarious ones. And these are, thankfully, generally speaking, pretty rare when you look at the entire gamut of risks that any company faces. But they are very real and can be very, very damaging. One of the things from a physical security perspective, when we're looking at the effectiveness of physical security systems and protections and controls, almost there is no analysis I've come across outside of a good insider threat program that can effectively mitigate an adversary who's on the inside already, somebody who's a trusted source or has a trusted source helping them. For a very clean example, your systems aren't designed to alert or alarm when somebody is in a place that they are supposed to be, and in some cases, even at a time they are supposed to be there. So that's where you have to know your people. You have to have the background checks done. And really you need to probably work with your human resources and your labor management folks to find a good balance between getting enough information to understand if somebody is a threat or they're susceptible to becoming an insider threat versus the privacy and not wanting to know too much about your employees or what they do in their personal time. Obviously, I've been through everything from we hired you so we trust you all the way up to formally holding a top secret SCI clearance where I'm pretty sure the government knows more about me than I know about me because they went back and talked to my kindergarten teacher. I jest a little bit there, but that really is what that is to understand how susceptible I would be to someone trying to coerce me into turning on the federal government as an employee. It's very similar when you start looking into some of these background checks and just trying to find that sweet spot of how much is enough but not too much. A lot of nuance there. And every organization is going to be different. Every situation is going to be a little different. One of the pieces you really can hone in on, and I highly recommend it, and you've probably heard me say it before, is understand the pattern of life. If you have an employee who tends to be a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then without any sort of rational explanation, they're now staying until 7 or 8, or they're coming in at 5 in the morning, ask a question. At worst case, you're going to find out that somebody is falling behind at work or needs some help somewhere. But it may be an indicator that they're trying to get into places, they're trying to figure out things that they really don't need to know. Another one to look at is access attempts. And that's one of the pieces where any good security program, physical or cyber, is going to look at if somebody's trying to get into a place they're not supposed to be. Obviously, once or twice, that's most likely just going to be human error. If it's repeated and you're seeing it multiple times, ask some questions. That's really what it comes down to, is understanding what's normal so you understand when that normal isn't what's happening. Doesn't mean there's an insider threat. Again, 9 times out of 10, it means there's a project that somebody got assigned to that is taking more time than expected, or it could be something where things aren't great outside the workplace and they're just looking at work as a place where they know is safe and consistent. But I don't think you'll regret asking the question. So those are just some tips on insider threat. There is myriad information out there about this, and there's a lot of nuance. The biggest thing I'll leave you with is no two situations are the same. So do not try to cookie cutter it. And you've got to do this in lockstep with, again, your labor management, your human resources, your senior leadership, to make sure it's going to be effective. So thanks for joining. Take care.
Don't miss out on any of our insightful content. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay informed whenever we release new videos. For top-tier security solutions, Archer is your trusted partner. Explore our offerings at archerint.com and get in touch via email or phone to fortify your company's defenses. Your questions drive our content. Leave them in the comments below and join us every Monday for a fresh episode of On Target with Archer.